Hello everyone and welcome back to another Division 2 video. Today we're going to be taking a look at a build that combines both the Striker gear set and the Centurion exotic holster. All of the pieces that are being used in this video can drop anywhere in the open world. There's no expertise rolled on any of my gear, but I am shade level 1000, so if you're below that, the numbers might be a little bit different for you, but the build will work just the same. To clarify, you'll be able to complete any content that I'm able to complete, and if you're interested to see how this build works in Legendary, please look in the comments below. I've pinned the time where the Legendary footage starts. Alright my friends, with all that out of the way, let's start this build off strong with the Striker. These are the 4 pieces of Striker that we're going to be using. We have the mask, the knee pads, the gloves, and the backpack. The backpack is most important, and I'll tell you why. But before we get into that, let's see what this gear set can actually offer us. For the 2-piece gear set bonus, we have a 15% weapon handling increase. For the 3-piece gear set bonus, we have a 15% rate of fire increase. And for the 4-piece gear set bonus, we get the talent Striker's Gamble, which is going to make it to where we can get up to 65% extra damage. We are able to get that extra 65% weapon damage because each shot we land will give us a 0.65% damage increase, and this stacks up to 100 times. Back to the reason why the backpack is so important for this build. It's because this backpack takes this 0.65% increase and makes it a 0.9% increase. In conclusion, this is going to give us up to 90% in extra weapon damage. That sounds great, but why would we want to pair Striker's battle gear with the exotic Centurion's holster? That's an excellent question, and the answer is the Centurion Scabbard comes with the exotic talent Counter. Counter will give one of your weapons 20% weapon damage and 20% rate of fire, and it will give your other weapon a 50% magazine size and 50% reload speed. This holster works by giving you one of the 2 sets of bonuses every time you switch your weapon. These bonuses will last for 12 seconds, and you can choose what weapon has what bonus by swapping to your pistol, because that does not count as a swap to the talent. What I would personally recommend is using 2 of the same or identical types of firearms so you have consistency between either the one that has the bonus fire rate and weapon damage or the bonus magazine size. That being said, I've decided to go with the MK16 type of profile of assault rifles. The MK16 hits hard, it's easy to handle, has a great fire rate, and it's accurate. And with our first MK16, we have 135k base damage, with 750 RPM, and a 75 cartridge magazine. And with our second MK16, we have 146k base damage, with a 880 RPM, and a 50 cartridge magazine. Now let's talk talents. I've decided to use Killer on both MK16s, as all you gotta do is kill a target with a critical hit and you get 70% extra critical hit damage for 10 seconds. You could use the talent Measured to give yourself an even faster fire rate if you would like, or you could use the talent Optimist to give yourself a more predictable flow of damage. If you don't like thinking about what you have to do to keep talents active, just go with one of these 2, because the only way to keep Killer active is to kill enemies that have delayed deaths, and what I mean by that is they take a second to explode or disappear. This would be like enemy skill proxies, drones, robotics, mini tanks, stuff like that. The reason this is important is because you need that 1 second delay to switch to your other MK16 or whatever firearm you prefer to use. Whenever you do, it allows you to chain Killer between both guns because it counts your kill as if you did it with your other firearm that you've already switched to. This means to get that extra damage you are pretty reliant on the enemy having some kind of skill proxy. I like to think of this damage as more of a background effect because we get a ton of damage from our Striker gear set, our Centurion holster, and our chest piece, which is the Sacrifice. This is a named piece of Providence, so we get an additional 13% headshot damage for the 1-piece brand set bonus. The reason we're wanting to use this is because it comes with the talent Perfect Glass Cannon. What this is going to do is amplify all of our outgoing damage by 30%, but it's going to amplify all our incoming damage by 60%. Using Glass Cannon means it's a good idea to avoid trying to use cover and instead use line of sight. In the future, I will be making a video on positioning and how you can use line of sight to your advantage in the Division 2, but for now let's put it into really basic terms. Instead of actually going into cover physically, you stand behind a wall to where you are less visible than your target. This will make it much harder for enemies to actually get hits on you, and it'll make it way easier for you to change angles. So in the end, this becomes a huge advantage whenever you have a 75 cartridge magazine, and you don't even have to reload, you just have to switch and switch back and it's back at 75. Let's talk about our specialization so we can get a full idea of what this build is. The specialization that you're going to be wanting to use with this build is Gunner, and there's 4 reasons for that. First is Barrage. This will increase your rate of fire for 5 seconds after you get a kill. Second, you'll get access to the Banshee Pulse. Third, you get the Incessant talent, which will give you a 10% armor on kill. And finally, because of the emplacement talent, you'll be getting a 10% weapon handling bonus, and you don't even have to be behind cover. All you have to do is not move for 1 second. This bonus will remain active until you go into motion. Here's our full build using the Centurion setup. You might have noticed that I have Measured currently rolled onto my firearms. I've been swapping back and forth pretty heavily between Measured and Killer. What I've noticed is Killer will offer us more damage, but Measured will offer us more freedom when swapping back and forth between both of our firearms. For the first part of our stat review, we have 6 damage cores, 4 critical hit chance attributes, 3 critical hit damage attributes, 2 critical hit chance mods, and 1 critical hit damage mod. For part 2, we have 60% critical hit chance, 93% critical hit damage, 10% damage to targets out of cover, and 88% headshot damage. Thank you guys so very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it or hated it, please let me know down in the comments below. I am constantly looking for ways to innovate my videos and the builds that I put on the channel, so if you guys have any ideas, I would love to hear about that as well. There's still plenty of room in my Xbox clan, so feel free to join if you guys are into that. Like always, there's going to be a few minutes of footage after the end of the commentary on this video. That being said, don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!
Medical assistance needed. Agent incapacitated. Serious trauma detected. Agent down.
Go from here. We got one.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Another dead asshole! Found him! Someone give me cover fire!
Drone going out.
Serious trauma detected.
Reloading! Light target! Light Dios, asshole!
Immediate medical assistance needed.